Good morning from wherever you are, from where we are too. We'd say good morning. And thank you very much that you join us for King's Local Diddy on King's 88.5. We are transmitting from Front Street adjacent the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. My name is Sam Andrews. We've got several papers in, particularly 7. And they are with interesting headlines this morning. Most of them dominated with what is unfolding, displayed the confusion, misunderstanding, schism, strife, mutiny, rebellism, all at the legislature. So keep tuned and let's run through these papers. They are The Inquirer, Oracle News Daily, The Independent, Heritage, In Profile, The Daily Observer, and The Inquirer. Our editorial will come from the newspaper. We begin with the newspaper, the nation's news since 1989. Lead story, front page. Drama expected today as budget submitted to legislature. Drama expected today as budget submitted to legislature. Sub-lead story of the newspaper. Kofa proves stubborn. Kofa proves stubborn. Says the nonsense must stop. It carries the photographs of President Joseph Yeman Boakai and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Chancellor, Doctor of Law, J. Fonati Kofa. The back page of the newspaper. Boakai poised to meet Marabio arrives in Sierra Leone. Sub-lead story of the newspaper. AU delegation visits Liberia to strengthen climate change mitigation efforts. Other stories on the back page of the newspaper. Liberia participates in 133rd IMO session. IMO is the International Migration Organization. Huge parade turned out as Liberians prepared for big crusade. New media network launched, pledges to change information dynamics. The newspaper is sold for 40 Liberian dollars. Get a copy of it and get a full understanding of all the stories the paper is reporting this 19th day of November 2024. Next up, Oracle News Daily. The Oracle News Daily newspaper reporting the truth to you. Front page, lead story. Guinea military junta exerts control over Liberia. Guinea military junta exerts control over Liberia. The photographs of President Joseph Yeman Boakai, Liberia's president, and the junta leader, Mamadi Dibuya, on the front page. The two of them sharing the front page of the Oracle News Daily. Guinean military junta exerts control over Liberia. The back page of Oracle News Daily. I will pack my bag and leave. I will pack my bag and leave. Kofa challenges colleagues to meet threshold for removal. They need 49. It's sub-lead story on the back page of Oracle News Daily. Bwaka submits 851 million budget to houses clerk, bypassing the speaker. It carries the photograph of Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Kpengafwa. That will be doing it for the Oracle Daily News. The paper is sold for $40 Liberian. Get a copy. We go next to the Independent newspaper, Liberia's most investigative newspaper. Lead story: no concurrent jurisdiction. No concurrent jurisdiction. Kofa speaks of deputy speaker presiding. That's the lead story of the Independent newspaper. No concurrent jurisdiction. Kofa speaks of deputy speaker presiding. The photographs of Deputy Speaker Thomas Falla and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, J. Fonati Kofa, on the front page of the Independent newspaper. Sub-lead story: no diplomatic shift on Russia as foreign ministry sets record straight. No diplomatic shift on Russia as foreign ministry sets record straight. The photograph of Liberia's foreign minister, Sarah Beslo Yanti, on the front page also of the Independent newspaper. How the back page looks, this is it. National budget in transit as it goes to houses clerk. The paper is asking a question. National budget in transit as it goes to houses clerk. The photograph of Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Kpengafwa on the back page of the paper. Other stories on the back page of the Independent newspaper. Maritime delegation attends IMO conference. Bwaka's one child, one chair policy takes effect as MCC receives 22,500 armchairs. Mpox cases climb, but Mpox cases climb, but Mpox is the short form for monkeypox. The paper is sold for $40 Liberian. Liberia's most investigative newspaper, The Independent. The Heritage is next. Lead story, front page. The truth is our guide. The Heritage newspaper. This nonsense will stop. This nonsense will stop. Speaker Kofa resists calls for resignation. That's the lead story of the Inquirer newspaper. This nonsense will stop. Speaker Kofa resists calls for resignation. Other stories on the front page of the Heritage newspaper. 2025 draft budget turned over to Deputy Speaker. Deputy Chief Clerk revealed to legislative reporters. From rescue team to scan team, yellow machines, NTA buses, and now Nicotech scams. The back page of the Heritage newspaper. Labor Ministry launches dispute settlement at Firestone. Joint MOU to be sealed. MOU is Memorandum of Understanding. Other stories on the back page of the Heritage newspaper. AU delegation visits Liberia to strengthen climate change mitigation efforts. Baladolo Papu words Agnes Gbade. That will be doing it for the Heritage newspaper. It is sold for $40 Liberian. Get a copy with an interesting lead story. The In Profile newspaper is next. Lead story, front page, the In Profile News Daily. Resignation is least option. Resignation is least option. And battle speaker re-echoes resistance to quit. Other stories on the front page of the In Profile Daily. LBS Director General Deputy Trade accusations. LBS Director General Deputy Trade accusations. You want to find out what is happening at the Liberia Broadcasting System. Who presides over 2025 draft national budget deliberation? Who presides over 2025 draft national budget deliberation? And the footnote story of the In Profile Daily. Liberia National Bar Association criticized for lack of progress. Liberia National Bar Association criticized for lack of progress. That's how the front page of the In Profile Daily newspaper looks. This is the back page. Lead story. LNA UL students clash. LNA UL students clash. Other stories on the back page of the In Profile Daily. Senate Pro Tem dismisses her removal rumors. Liberia nearing elimination of death penalty. EU delegation visits Liberia to strengthen climate change mitigation efforts. The In Profile Daily is sold for $40 Liberian. You don't want to miss out on a copy. Reach out to any one of the vendors and get a copy at the rate of $40 Liberian. And you see all of these stories you need to know, because 1/3 of our existence on earth centers on information. In the absence of knowing what is happening daily, you are dead. Not dead physically, but dead infally. You only be in a state of denial. We move now to the Daily Observer newspaper. One of the papers that been around for a very, very long time, doing on the market, the newspaper, the Daily Observer rather. Lead story. Bwaka submits US $851.8 million draft budget to legislature. Who will preside? Bwaka submits US $851.8 million draft budget to legislature. Who will preside? Other stories on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. I don't know how this will end. Speaker Kofa expresses uncertainty as battle over his removal intensifies. However, insists that he won't resign. New book envisages envisages orphanage homes reform. Bong Authority validates 25 priority projects. Says counter development agenda will help improve the lives of the people. That's how it looks like for the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper, the back page. Second Lady Cohn advocates for sustainable solutions at Johnsonville Youth Summit. Second Lady Cohn advocates for sustainable solutions at Johnsonville Youth Summit. And the second lady is the wife of Vice President Jeremiah Cohn. So who is the third lady and the fourth lady? The footnote story of the Daily Observer newspaper. World Bank lauds Liberia's progress in gender-responsive budgeting. The last but not the least before we take our editorial, the Inquirer newspaper. Lead story of the Inquirer newspaper. Is LCC getting out of order too? Is LCC getting out of order too? Or you want to get a copy of the Inquirer newspaper to know what really the question that the paper is asking. Other stories on front page of the Inquirer newspaper. Draft national budget increased by 15.3%. Finally learns at legislature. The president of Liberia photograph is on the front page right under that story. Joseph Yomabwaka. Labor's intervention might yield results as Firestone employees close to dispute settlement. Government kicks off gender-responsive budget training. The back page of the Inquirer newspaper. LPP's confusion deepens. LPP's confusion deepens as Mbato chairman questions authority. LPP is the Liberia's People's Party, and it carries the party's Mbato chairman, J. Yakwe Zaza. Other stories on the back page of the Inquirer newspaper that is sold for $40 Liberian. Uphold the rule of law. Howard Taylor weighs in on Representative saga. Howard Taylor weighs in on Representatives saga. Uphold the rule of law. Former Vice President Joy Howard Taylor. And Speaker Kofa maintains constitutionality until Speaker Kofa maintains constitutionality until. That will be it for the Inquirer newspaper. It's sold for $40 Liberian. If you just tune in, you're listening to King's Local Daily on King's 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews. Today is Tuesday, the 19th day of November 2024. Next up, is the editorial. Nowhere but the newspaper. And it is entitled, "The Constitution Must Be Respected." The Constitution must be respected. It is our editorial for today on King's Local Daily. The House of Representatives has been embroiled with a series of ha-has centered on the division of the body over an ongoing attempt to strip House Speaker J. Fonati Kofa of his position. On October 27, about 47 lawmakers named and star majority bloc signed a resolution calling for the removal of the Speaker for various reasons outlined therein. The majority bloc has been holding paralyzed sessions in the joint chambers of the legislature without the Speaker. In the meantime, the regular session of the House has not been able to do legislative business because it lacks the simple majority of 37 representatives required to acquire a quorum. Due to the lack of quorum and consistent with Article 33 of the Constitution, the Speaker has to adjourn sessions more to 2 occasions. Article 33 says that simple majority of each house shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business, but a lower may adjourn from day to day and compel the attendance of absent members. In compliance with this constitutional provision, the Speaker fled to the Supreme Court praying for a writ of prohibition against the majority lawmakers. The Speaker, on Friday, October 25th, issued a stay order. That's the court. The court, on Friday, October 25th, issued a stay order on proceedings as per an attempt to oust Speaker Kofa after he prayed the court to intervene. Interestingly, the majority bloc ignored the court's order and held session. Key members of the majority bloc openly challenged the authority of the Supreme Court to intervene in this matter and flatly refused to honor the court's order. On October 31, the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fowler, joined the majority bloc, apparently in obedience to a letter sent to him by the majority bloc, commanding him to preside over their sessions as they met the requirement for quorum. The Liberian Constitution is clear as to how a speaker can be elected and removed from office. Article 49 of the Constitution says, "The House of Representatives shall elect once every 6 years a speaker who shall be the presiding body, a deputy speaker, and such other officers as shall ensure the proper functioning of the House. The deputy speaker, the deputy speaker, and other officers so elected may be removed from office for cause by resolution of a 2/3 majority of the members of the House. This is the Constitution, which all lawmakers swore to uphold and defend. If the majority bloc believes that it has the number 49 lawmakers to remove the Speaker, it should do so in line with the Constitution. There is nowhere in the Constitution where it says that lawmakers absent from session can assemble anywhere outside the House's chambers and without the Speaker convene session to conduct legislative business. This is illegal, wrong, and unconstitutional. We lost over 250,000 lives during the civil conflict, some of it due to lawlessness, injustice, and the preference of political power over the rule of law. As one of the legal experts put it, respect for the Constitution is not optional, and adherence to the Supreme Court's ruling is not negotiable. In a functional democracy, the rule of law always takes precedence over political maneuvering. To this regard, this is to invite chaos where power, not principle, reigns. He goes further, law supersedes all political interferences, and to undermine it is to erode the very foundation of the state. The editorial concluded, the Liberian people are no longer prepared to tolerate any action outside of the rule of law, especially actions that undermine their hard-won peace. We therefore urge the absent lawmakers and majority bloc to return to the chambers of the House and follow the constitutional roadmap laid out for the removal of the Speaker. This is what the Constitution that each lawmaker swore to uphold and defend upon induction into office, follow the Constitution, and adhere to the rule of law. The editorial on King's Local Daily from the newspaper, the Constitution must be respected. Join us tomorrow for another presentation. Thanks ever so much for being with us. My name is Sam Andrews.